So, before starting this video, I was thinking of a stupid joke for me to make at the beginning of it, saying that to make this next part possible, I had to either travel back in time to 2009, or I had to buy one of those distribution carts off of eBay for about $600, because clearly that would be the only way I could do this. Obviously poking fun at the fact that I just used an action replay cheat. However, I forgot that another valid option was just to, get it from a trade, which I guess goes to show how, I don't even ever consider that as a possibility. But there's the event Regigigas, and it apparently has Pokerus. Okay, then. That was not part of the original event, but alright, we'll take that, I guess. So, this thing, as the trainer name shows, was originally a Toys R Us handout. It was given out before Platinum came out, so that you had to pick it up in Diamond and Pearl and then transfer it to the new game once it came out, and then, yeah. I don't know what the hell this is. Looks like they weren't content with just making the event as it was. They had to also max out its, contest stats. And, oh, what the hell is this? Whatever. I would not be surprised if it also has maxed out stats. But, anyway, here it is. This thing, I believe, was given out as some kind of tie-in to the Shaman Giratina movie, also in Japan, but since they don't actually do movie events anywhere else, they just did it as a random Toys R Us event here. Anyway, as I mentioned last time, the reason I picked this thing up is because it is needed to access the rest of the Regi trio, which in turn let you catch the thing that you already have, so it's pretty much just excellent design all around. But let's head on to the first one of the bunch. I mean, I could do these in any order, but I'm just going to do them in Pokedex order, because that is how I roll. So it's somewhere on this route. I should be able to bump into it without too much trouble, because I definitely found it last time. I just don't remember exactly where it was. I think it was near the top of the map. Also, prepare for this video to have a lot of cutting, because as we've shown with other legendary encounters, catching things is never as easy as it should be. But anyway, now that I actually have this thing in my party, it has decided to light up some floor tiles, so let's solve a non-puzzle. You don't have to do these in any specific order, you just kind of poke them, and then a rumbling has occurred. And it doesn't even get an overworld sprite. Excellent. Okay, so Zazazariza. Okay. And we've got the original battle music from Ruby Sapphire. Alright. I didn't remember that that was the case, but that's a nice callback, I suppose. Okay, it's also level 30, which is quite a bit lower than I expected it to be. Can it take an Ice Beam? No, it cannot. Well, that was a critical, so I don't know if that counts, but Signal Beam should be fine. Ugh. Even that did a lot more damage than I thought. But yeah, I'll at least attempt to catch these on screen, but as with the previous, the other ones I've gone after, if it doesn't work out, then I'm just gonna frickin' cut, and I will be back when I catch it. So, let's see. It might be able to take a poison jab. Yeah, okay. Not that I actually wanted to... I mean, obviously I didn't want to poison it. I'm glad that it didn't. So let's try to put this thing to sleep. Not sure why level 30. That's kind of an odd one to choose, because they were level 50 in the original games, like most legendaries. And, yeah, that's pretty much all I've got on that statement, so we're gonna be done with that sentence. Alright, time for some Dusk Balls. As we listen to the excellent sped up version of this song, which is mainly just... Ooh, do we have it? Ooh, nice. The fact that I didn't speed it up gave me good luck there. And its footprint is apparently a cockroach. Alright. I have no reason to nickname these, but I'm going to do it anyway. This one has a H on its face, so it's going to be named H-Face. Well, that's one down. Let's see if we get good luck with the other ones. Tropius is too tired to battle. Fly on it anyway? Yes. I always love how you can do that. Alright, so yeah, we want to do the southern Mount Coronet entrance. Which means I actually am going to need rock climb and other such shenanigans, so... Oh. Damn it. I was speeding through that text because I didn't even think about it. If you were to go back and read that, like freeze framing, it would be the Pokerus speech, because the event has it. Basically, whenever you encounter Pokerus for the first time, it's more likely that you're going to find out by talking to Nurse Joy and getting it through the speech, rather than actually looking at your team member and seeing it that way. It's basically just a good way to make you realize that you have it, so... if you don't know what Pokerus is, I guess I'll explain it a little bit. Basically, it's rarer than a shiny. You can just get it by fighting wild Pokemon randomly, and it doubles the amount of EVs that you get, so basically you get double the stat growth. It's very useful to have, but it's stupidly rare. Most people just get it by, like, finding somebody online that has it and getting a Pokemon from them, or, like, getting it off the GTS or something. But, I've gotten it a few times. The first couple times I ever got it were both in ROMs. One of them was in Gold, one of them was in Emerald, and both of those were on the same day that I had found a shiny. I don't know if that's just really weird coincidence, or if there's actually some kind of, like, weirdness with the RNG that would cause that. But, I also got it in White 2, I think. Yeah, I want to say I got... Okay, no, actually, hold on. The first time I ever got it on a legitimate game was in Soul Silver, when I was leveling up a Lileep. Then the next time was in White 2. I got it in Mr. Alton Cave, I think, when I was going after, like, a... I don't remember if I was going after Cobalion or if I was just trying to find something else. But it was in Mr. Alton Cave. I think it was off of a Wild Girder. And I also more recently got it in Omega Ruby. I don't remember what part of the game. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised that I've actually run into it on so many occasions like that, because it is definitely not a common occurrence. But anyways, are we in the right area yet? Oh, you know what? I think I just realized I'm not even in the right place. Yeah, okay. Do I have escape ropes? Yeah, I do. Okay, I might have wasted a little bit of your time with that. I apologize. Let me just... Yeah, cutting. Okay, so yeah, I was at the wrong Mount Coronet. I was thinking it was up on the path to, Spear Pillar for whatever reason, but it's not. It's the way to, like, Route 216 or whatever number it is. Actually, should just be, like, right up here somewhere. Unless I have to go through the, Foggy Room first. I don't remember exactly. Yeah, it looks like Foggy Room. Mount Coronet's freaking giant and confusing. I have no surprise that I forgot where it was. I think it is up here. Okay, good. Alright, so let's see if we get any good luck with this next one. Jackie! What the heck? I want to know who decides what the cries translate to. Oh, and it's floating. That is a bizarre choice, because I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to be floating. I mean, I guess it's like in mid-jump, but that's... why? That just seems really stupid. Anyway, ice only resists itself, so let's see if I can at least take 2 of these. Okay, that's good. If I remember right, Regice is the special defense-oriented one. And then I don't remember between the other two. One of them is physical defense, and one of them is, like, balanced. I don't remember which is which. Rock and Steel are both considered, like, sturdy defensive types, so it really could be either one. But, I want to say Steel might be the balanced, I'm not sure. Anyway, let me go ahead and put it to sleep, and see if we can manage to catch this thing. So, the beginning of the ball chucking has started. On the way to the next one, I'll be mentioning some other weirdness with the Reggie trio in future games, because they've always been one of the more well-hidden legendary trios. Like, usually whenever they're introduced in, like, with any legendary trio, they'll have, like, the debut game where they have their default locations. And I hope by not speeding up I would have given myself good luck there. They'll have their default locations, and then, like, if they ever put them back in other games later on, they'll either just kind of stick them in a corner somewhere and call it a day, or they'll try to do some kind of callback to the original. And, these have always been the ones that are, like, kind of puzzle-based, because, in the original Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, they were locked behind those, like, Braille puzzles, which, in turn, were in a really kind of cryptic area in the first place, where you had to have the Relicanth and Wailord and all that stuff. I've shown that off in my playthrough of that game, so I don't need to go into huge detail on it. But I understand that probably not everybody has watched that. Just keep making that noise, it'll be useful. Can we get lucky in the last few balls here? 2 more. 1 more. I am glad that these are low-leveled, though, because, the lower the level they are, it doesn't necessarily mean that, they're easier to catch, but, it does mean that I don't have to worry about my Pokemon dying constantly. So, since all of those failed, let's just yuck it up and use a couple Premier Balls just for the sake of trying, I don't know. I'm gonna be reloading the save state in just a minute here anyway, but figure I will see if anything works, since it did happen to work last time. I've got a lot of Ultra Balls, but I'm not gonna go through all those. I will try one. No. It was close, but not quite. Okay. Be back in a minute. Got it. Didn't actually take very long. That was probably less than a minute. I'm curious, what does that come out to be in Celsius? Because that's a really, really specific odd number there. I know that -40 is the same in both. I'm going to say that that's probably pretty close to absolute 0, honestly. Since the Pokédex likes to exaggerate, so... Anyway, I'm going to name this one something stupid, and I'll explain why in a minute. So, this one is Mittens. I really don't have a good explanation for that, other than, the fact that I'd named it Mittens once before, but I didn't have a good reason for it that time either. So, as I was starting to say, they've brought back the Reggies a couple times since the original. Obviously, there's this quest here, which isn't cryptic so much as it is just annoying because it requires an event. And I'll have other complaints about that in a minute. But in this game, they're just kind of hidden in the 3 caves, and that's about it. Then the next time they brought them back was Black and White 2, and they were kind of weird in those. The way those games handled it was in, I want to say Twist Mountain. I forget where it was exactly. I'm pretty sure it was Twist Mountain. Was it though? Hold on. Clay Tunnel? It was some kind of area near Twist Mountain if it wasn't... Yeah, I think it was like the Clay Tunnel. It was some new area that wasn't in the original games. Like the original Black and White. There was this cave you could find with Reggie statues and some kind of weird, vague hint that, like, you needed to do certain stuff here. It was, something about, like, you had to, like, face the statue and then take a certain number of steps down and then a certain steps right, and then you press A and you uncover a hidden switch. And then by doing that, you get into another area, and then there's, like, an eyeball that only opens when it's night or something. I forget exactly. It was some weird thing. It was kind of cool, though. But you had to go through these series of, like, little puzzly things, and then you would eventually find Regirock, and you would catch it. And after you do that, then depending on which game you had, if it was Black 2, you'd be able to catch Registeel, and if it was White 2, you'd be able to catch Regice. And, I forget if there were additional puzzles or not. I don't think there were. It was just kind of more of the same stuff. And then that was it. Those would be the only 2 you could actually catch. But if you did the thing where you, like... I think it was called Univille Link, where you kind of, like, swap data with another game. It was kind of underutilized, but it was also used for, like, the ends memories things. Like little flashback sequences. You could link up with the opposite version, and by doing that, you could get the key to unlock the other one. So it didn't technically require a trade, but it might as well have. By doing that, you would be able to catch the third one, and then after doing that, you would take all 3 of them to the basement to Twist Mountain, and then you'd find Regigigas. So, it was cryptic, but I enjoyed it, because it was kind of like, it wasn't that cryptic. It was just, it was weird enough to be noteworthy, but not, like, impossible to figure out. If you want impossible to figure out, then you've got Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, where the original trio were pretty much handled the way that they always were. And then with Regigigas, this is actually the first time it's ever been available in the game without having to meddle with another version or an event, because Diamond Pearl, you couldn't get the other 3 any other way. You had to import them. This game, you need the event. Black and White 2, you need to trade with the other version or swap the key. In the Hoenn remakes, you could catch all 3 of them in the game, so they're like, well, we have to make this thing weird to get somehow, so what we're gonna do is have, like, 5 different requirements, and only tell you one of them. There was, like, this one NPC that would, basically tell you one part of the puzzle, and which part of it you got, I think, was randomized when you started the game. It might have been tied to, like, ID number or something, I'm not sure. And so you basically had to either, like, what they probably intended you to do was, like, swap parts of the puzzle with other people you know playing the game and piece it all together that way, or just use the internet. And so you had to do some stupid shit, like, you had to nickname Regice, give it a frozen item to hold, and then go back to its cave specifically during the day, and you'd be able to find it. So, since you had to nickname it, I just nicknamed mine Mittens. I don't know why. I know that a lot of people called Mitt Romney that when he was running for president, but I don't friggin' understand why I used that as a nickname. Anyway. We've got one more to go. GG Zagizo, also known as Transformers Noise. Let's listen to that one again here. Registeel featured here not doing the Nazi salute, which it was doing in Diamond and Pearl, but then they changed it. So, let's see if we get lucky and freeze this thing, which I don't expect to, but it's always a possibility. Nope. And I've got 11 Dusk Balls left, so probably should have stocked up before this, but I didn't. So once again, see if I get lucky, and then cut if I don't. Of the three, Registeel is my favorite, just based on looks. I've never used any of them for anything, but I actually don't know which is considered the best. I seem to remember that in the original Ruby Sapphire metagame, before the majority of the Kanto and Johto Pokemon were available, I'm pretty sure Regice was used as the special wall because Blissey wasn't available yet. So it at least had, like, its place in history there. But I don't know if the other two were ever used. My, oh jeez. Well, I guess we're not using Sing. Oh well. I mean, I could just, hold on, we gotta see this text. Can't get it going because if it's slow start. I'll explain that one in a minute. Yeah, I'm just gonna chuck these last few balls and then reload. But yeah, my exposure to, like, metagame stuff is pretty much limited to, like, certain parts of Gen 3 and 4, and that's about it. I never played it at all myself, but I read up certain things about it here and there. And once again, didn't take very long to catch. No complaints from me. So let's see, we've had H-Face because it had an H on its face, Mittens because some weird connection that I made to Mitt Romney for no reason at all, and this one which doesn't really have a letter on its face, it looks more like a honeycomb. Footprint is just concentric circles. I don't want to name it anything Nazi related because that would be stupid, so I'll just call it like Metaton or something, because it's hip to like Undertale, I guess. I could just not nickname it at all, but I nicknamed the other two, so there we go. Registeel is now a steak in the shape of Metaton's face. So, anyway, I've caught the three, so that means we can waste time catching the other one that I already have. Now, I've been complaining about that because it is stupid, but I will give them some credit. Like, they tried to make this make sense, because the thing with this event is it's already level 100 when you get it, which, depending on the type of player you are, you're either going to think, that's awesome, it's already really strong, I don't have to train it, or that sucks because it has no EVs and I can't give it any. So the idea here is that, like, if you're the second type of player, you're going to be wanting to catch the other one so that you can actually train it yourself and make it the way you want to make it, and that would be fine. The problem being that Regigigas actually really sucks and nobody would ever use one in any kind of serious way, so it, like, didn't quite work out the way they planned. But let me go after it anyway, so we have to go on a little trip first. Let me head to Eternicity, because I looked this up off screen. Oh, yeah, that actually reminds me, I need to show off the Rotom thing, too. I can probably do that later in this video, I'll have to look up the code. Because I'm basically putting off doing Stark Mountain. I'm going to get to it in the next few videos, I'm sure, but I'm going to be using Nest Balls, because I don't know if I've actually said out loud what this thing's level is when you encounter it, but it appears at level 1 for pretty much no reason. The one that you'd find in Diamond and Pearl was level 70. This one, they're like, we gave you a level 100 event one. Let's just make it level 1 for absolutely no reason. A little bit cool. And I don't know why I went in here. So let's go back up to Snow Point. And I get to solve the ice puzzles again. Hopefully I remember the solution, at least somewhat. But, I need to waste half of my team here, so... Let's, grab the trio. And I'll keep Caroline because I like Sing. Anybody else is gonna just outright kill this thing as soon as I try to touch it, so that's not gonna be a good idea. Let's see, what else can I bring in? I've got a bunch of random level 1s here. Anybody with an attack? I mean... Yeah. Trying to see what I would actually want to go in with. I'm gonna say a Volt Tackle will probably not kill it, but we'll find out. And let's bring... I guess it doesn't really freaking matter. So, let me grab these guys. And off we go. But, like I was saying, though, it's... The whole thing is just kind of badly handled in general, but they at least gave an attempt at having, like, a series of things you'd do here. I don't know, it probably could have been thought out a bit better, but it wasn't that bad. I am going to point out, though, that the Pokemon series has never been very consistent with, making all the Pokemon available in a certain generation. Obviously Gen 1 did it because it was the first and there was no other way that could have worked. Gen 2 left out the starters, legendaries, and fossils from the first games, and I feel like that was probably done to make it feel like a expansion and not necessarily a whole new thing. But, I don't know. Gen 3 started fresh, so they did it. Skipping 4 for now, because I'm going to talk about that in detail. 5 didn't do it really at all. They, with the Dream World, got kind of close, but still left out like 10 different legendaries and basically all the starters and the Pikachu family and Unknown. And then if you don't count the Dream World, there's a lot more missing besides those. Gen 6 actually did it, so that's good. I'm glad that they got back into the groove, because that's always just been my thing, is to try and catch everything without having to, like, rely on previous games. Gen 4 did a pretty decent job at making everything available, but they messed up with the 4 Regis, because these are available, like, Gigas is in... Okay, hold on, let's try to remember how this puzzle works. Gigas is in Diamond and Pearl also, but you still need the other 3 to activate it, so it doesn't really count. And then, this game has all 3 available, but they need an event. So it's like if you don't have that event or were never able to get to it, you either have to trade with somebody else who got it, which is kind of or you just can't get it. So it is the these are the only ones in all of Gen 4 that require some kind of like outside interaction that you can't just get by having the games and nothing else, is what I'm trying to say here. So let's see how this goes. Yeah. Zut Zut. Also known as... Let's do it again for good measure. So let's take a moment and actually analyze what the hell this thing is supposed to be. So, all 3 of the other ones have 7 dots on their face in a specific order. This one also does that, but they're in kind of a really weird arrangement. I don't know what's going on there. This one also has those 3 markings on either side of its chest, which the top one is red, but I think it's supposed to be brown. I don't know. So those represent the other 3 Regis. That's fine. It has zebra stripes. No idea why. And it has plants growing on it. Once again, no idea why. So, why the hell did I switch to make this my first? I don't know what I'm doing. I wanted to see if it would survive a Volt Tackle, but let's put it to sleep first. But yeah, the gimmick with this thing is it's supposed to be really powerful, and so they gave it the ability Slow Start to balance that out. Slow Start makes it so your attack and speed stats are only half of what they should be, and then after 5 turns they go back up to normal. Couple problems with this. First of all, it's actually not that strong to warrant such a hindering ability, so they seriously overcompensated. Also, 5 turns is a really, really long time to have to wait for that, because most of the time you're going to die before that. And lastly, it is the only... Wait, it just got it... Was it already 5 turns? Huh. It is the only Pokemon capable of learning TMs that cannot learn Protect or Rest. And they specifically did this because they didn't want you to stall it out, like stall out the turns and try to cheap it out that way. But again, they were seriously overcompensating and ended up just making this thing a complete joke. So, long story short, nobody uses Regigigas because it is really bad. I mean, it doesn't really have anything going for it other than, like, it has a high base stat total, but you have to go through too much crap to make use of it, and I don't think it really does anything all that spectacular anyway, compared to other legendaries. Like, I mean, it's a normal type. It's got ghost immunity, but it's not going to get stab super effective anything. I don't even know what stats it excels in, honestly. I'm going to say probably attack, but again, attack is halved for the first 5 turns. And so I just kind of consider it the ultimate joke that you find this thing in level 1 and catch it in a nest ball. So, we're going to be mature adults here, and because it can't get it going for the first 5 turns, we're going to name it Viagra. So, there we go. That quest has now been completed. I don't really have anything else to add to that. I think I've said everything I ever could about those, other than the, like, stat info that I didn't know about. Are these... I'm looking at these pillars trying to see if these represent the patterns on their faces, but it doesn't really look like they do, because that one only has 5 dots. I don't know, kind of weird. Oh, also, since I never pointed it out, it's pretty widely accepted that the main trio is supposed to represent the Stone Age, the Ice Age, and the Iron Age. And then, I don't know if it's Iron Age or Bronze Age. I think those might have both existed. I don't really know enough about ancient history. Gigas, I don't know what the hell he's supposed to represent. He's just some weird plastic thing. Also, all 4 of them are weak to fighting. So we got 2 careful and 2 relaxed. Alright then. Alright, so now that that's out of the way, let's I guess show off the Rotom thing. So I need to find the action replay code for that, and I will be right back. Alright, so let's find out if that worked. I already put the code in. And we're going to go to Eterna City. And let me grab my Rotom, and I've already got Tropius, which is my fly user. Or cut user, rather. I guess I don't really need the rest of the team for this, so here we go. And let's see if I've got the item. So go into the Pokemart, and there's nobody there. Go out of the Pokemart, press L and R, go back in. And there we go. Excellent. I pretty much never use cheat codes and stuff, but when I do use them, I will admit that they are useful. So, there we've got the secret key. This thing was... This was a Wi-Fi event for like the first couple weeks that Platinum was released, if I'm remembering right. And when you got the game, there would be like a little insert inside the box that basically mentioned that you could do this, and it would have like promotional artwork of one of the 5 forms, so it was kind of cool. They tried to like show it off as a new feature, and I think they did a pretty good job. I have previously bitched about this though, and for good reason. Because the secret key is just an item that you get through Wi-Fi, and it unlocks something that is unable to be traded, this basically became the one event that you can never really get again if you reset your game. Because, like, let's say you missed Arceus, like... Or, Arceus is a bad example because they never released the in-game event for that. Let's say you missed the thing that lets you catch Darkrai in-game. You could still have somebody trade you the Darkrai. You'd miss the event, but you could get the results of it. This one, not so much. And the Japanese version fixed that by having you able to share the key with other players through, like, just regular trading. Not trading, but, like, just connecting to the other person's game. But then they removed it from all the other versions. I don't know why. So... Anyway, here's just the 5 devices, and I don't know why it's these 5 specifically. Like, Rotom can go inside any kind of electrical device, but only if it's one of these, apparently. I don't know. So let's get rid of Uproar. And, okay. Oh, and we get story. Like, how the hell did you even know I was here? Come on. Who the hell just put all this shit in here? I actually forgot about this. Moot. I mean, yeah. I don't know why we would claim that it isn't a new Pokemon, but okay. So anyway, here is the heat form. It's an oven. I like to think of it as a toaster because toasters are funnier than ovens, but there you go. Notice that it is Electric Ghost, because that is no longer the case. Not counting the Pokemon that became, like, the Magnemite family that became Steel in Gen 2, and anything that became Fairy type in Gen 6. This is the only Pokemon that's ever changed types between generations, because starting in Gen 5, it stopped being part electric, or no, sorry, it stopped being part ghost, and started becoming part whatever other type is associated with the item, so fire, flying, etc. So the type combinations of electric fire, electric ice, and electric grass have not been seen in any other Pokemon. They're exclusive to the Rotom forms. Aside from that, they're still identical. They have the type difference, and they all have one different move. So, there was Overheat, this one has Leaf Storm. The other ones have Hydro Pump, I think, Blizzard, and I believe Air Cutter. Air Cutter is actually the least useful of the 5, but I don't know, it's... I think pretty much the fan form is considered the worst one, because it, all of the forms have Levitate as their ability, and it's already part flying, so it's, like, kind of redundant and a waste of an ability. Plus it has the worst move, so nobody really likes Fan Rotom, but the other ones are okay. So that was just a random thing I wanted to show off. Go ahead and put you back in here. Frickin' demonic lawnmower. So let me think. In terms of events, I've shown off that, I've shown off the Reggie thing. I've still got the 3 main mythicals to go after, which I'm going to save for the end of the playthrough, so I think that might be it for events. I can't think of anything else. If I ever do think of something, I'll, like, probably be reminded. Well, someone will probably tell me in the frickin' comments, first of all, but I'll do it in another video anyway. As for legendaries to go after, we've still got Dialga and Palkia on top of the Spear Pillar, which we'll go after soon. Cresselia is still roaming around. I've got the 3 birds to release, and then there's Heatran, so I've still got quite a few of those to go after. I think we might be done for today, though. I feel like that was a logical stopping point, because anything else at this point is just going to be me kind of wasting time. I will actually go after Cresselia, though, so... Alright, now that I've gotten the annoying shuffling out of the way, let's see if I can encounter this thing and damage it and not get it burned and all that good stuff. And let's see if we can actually encounter the thing in the first place. Would be nice. There we go. So I'm gonna save state because I don't want to burn this thing. Now this thing has crazy defenses from what I remember, so it's probably gonna take quite a few encounters to get its HP down. So yeah, looks like probably 2 more of those, and then we get to have the fun of trapping and throwing balls at it. Let's see if we can counter it again on screen without it taking too long. You've already seen this entire process when I went after Mesprit, so I really felt no reason to show it again, but here I am showing it again for reasons. Since I know I'll get comments if I don't mention this, I will bring up the fact that Pokemon Go has been released a couple days ago, and I have not played it, and I don't think I ever will because I don't have a device that can play it. Basically all I'm getting is some people think it's really cool, and some people think it's really kind of boring and lame. It seems to be on the boring and lame side. Oh, jeez. Good job. Okay. So yeah, I think this is a good reason why we're probably going to off-screen this process. But yeah, I like the idea behind it, but the execution seems a bit lacking. I don't know, I haven't really seen any in-depth like reviews on it. I've just heard things here and there about it. But I don't know. We'll see if it gets updated in the future. There's really nothing else I can say other than like I just said, I think it's a really cool idea. I'm glad they made it, but I kind of hope it gets expanded into something with a bit more depth. But anyway, I guess I'll just be back once it's time to actually start catching this thing, so yeah. Here we go. I got its HP down through very annoying processes because Flamethrower kept, the RNG was set to always critical, I think, so I had to change up the tactics a bit. I damaged it through Mirror Coat. Tried to damage it through Mirror Coat again. It didn't work because it died when I did that. Same with Counter. Then I tried using a combination of like use an X defend and then use Counter, that kind of stuff. That didn't work. Eventually found a move that would get it low enough, which was Poison Jab. So there we go. It's down in the red. I can't give it a status because it'll just flee anyway. So let's first chuck a quick ball at it. See if we get really lucky, and if it doesn't work, then go with Ultras. Nope. Alright. Now, good news is this thing doesn't seem to have particularly strong attacks. It has Aurora Beam and Slash. I don't know why this thing has Slash. It seems like kind of a random choice. Future Sight, which for some reason a lot of the legendaries in this game seem to carry. That one's a bit up. Yeah, see, stuff like this is the most annoying because you never know when it's gonna hit. Or I think you do know when it's gonna hit, but I frickin' never remember. So, yeah, we're in for a fun time here. Especially since I don't know how much of the RNG is predetermined, and I might not actually be able to catch it under these circumstances, but as with any other legendary, if I can't get it, I'll just get it off screen like I always frickin' do. I just hate doing that. Yeah, that was the exact same process that happened last time, so... I think I basically just need to heal when I get low, and not have that happen. Let's see how many Ultra Balls I had left at the end of that. Okay. I like how this thing is, like, so non-legendary that its description is just like, when the moon gets into a certain phase, its tail extends and undulates. Like, what the hell does undulate mean? Like, get bigger and smaller, I think, but... It doesn't have any special abilities. It's just kind of a moon duck, and it has a tail. I don't know. I mean, its special ability is that it counteracts Dark Rise Nightmares, I guess, but it's... I don't hate Cresselia. I keep kind of making fun of it because it's kind of unnecessary, but I think it has a cool design. I just don't know why it's in this game. I feel like they could have saved it for Sun and Moon and it would have made a lot more sense, but there it is. You'll notice that it's female. Most legendaries don't have a gender. Some of them do. Cresselia is always female. It just is. And then, let's see, it is quirky. I don't remember if I needed a quirky Pokemon for something. I think I might have. But, much like the Lake Trio, it is a Psychic type with Levitate, so there's not a whole lot of variety there. Another reason why people don't like it as much. But has really high defense stats. It's good for walling stuff, at least. And, we have 4 Ultra Balls left. So yeah, that took quite a few to catch, but, that's one that's out of the way now. Let me, do one last real quick thing in this video, and then we will be done. So let me grab my Fly Slave. I just enjoy the concept of Pokemon having no lot in life other than to sit in the PC and be called upon for menial tasks and then put back. It is kind of sad. But it's okay, it's just a game. Alright, let's go down here. And here's Oak, and he's all like, "Oh, yes, oh, yeah, the Pokedex is cool, yeah, you also have hair." That's it, that's all he says. How many freaking upgrades do I have now? It's kind of weird. I'm not going to tell you what that Pokemon is, though. Also, on a completely different topic, now that I have mentioned these 3 birds, they will exist. Oh, yes. Okay, so I did not want to talk to him for a while because there are now 3 more roamers loose in the land, and when I played through Platinum on my physical copy, I didn't actually bother going after all the legendaries for a really long time because I felt it was kind of unnecessary. I had already built up my collection in Pearl, so like the only one I caught was Dialga because I had to trade it. And like I caught Giratina obviously because it's the mascot. I don't think I went after any of the others except for maybe Heatran. And then when I needed to fill out my collection in, I think it was White. It was either White or Y. I actually don't remember which. No, it was definitely White. I went after the legendaries in this game because I needed to get duplicates of a lot of them. And in that particular playthrough, I had all 5 of them roaming at the same time, and it was a complete nightmare trying to get them all down into the red and actually catch them, because you never knew which one you were going to run into, and it was just generally a pain in the ass. So, yeah, I tried to limit that as much as I could for this one. I'm going to try to catch those 3, but it's not going to be fun. Most of it's going to be off-screen. And I think that's pretty much all I have to say about this video, so that's all I have to say about the war in Vietnam. Now we're not going to end with that. Next time, I guess Stark Mountain, because I've been putting it off a lot.